Back to Access Tech Live.
And we're back on Access Tech Live with Darryl Adams, Intel's Director of Accessibility, and Todd Harple, Intel's Olympics AI Innovation Program Lead. Of course, we're all looking ahead to the games themselves in Paris taking place. Now, before the break, we were chatting to you, Todd, about this AI lab, which is getting fans connected with sports. So, it's really interesting because often when you think about AI and we have the conversation around AI, it often tends to lead us down the road of we're being disconnected from humanity. You're trying to essentially connect it to humanity in a way.
Yeah, I mean, in a lot of ways, the way I look at AI is an extension of human agency. We should be trying to do something that extends what we're doing, and maybe it makes us more efficient at doing it. Maybe it makes us scale it better. I mean, with these labs, here's a great example. We took a version of this lab to Senegal just recently. And we took it there because in Dakar in 2026, there will be the Youth Olympic Games. And we learned from Argentina, the director of games there, that it was really difficult to identify youth talent from the host country. So we took this lab down there, and we also went out to villages with less than the lab, with smartphones and like cones, basic human things that we all use in real life. And we did these exercises, and we were able to identify oh my gosh, like 40 or so kids that have elite potential. And by doing things like this, we actually extend and we democratize access to these tools that elite athletes are already using. But now if we can democratize access through anybody with a smartphone or anybody with a video camera and internet connectivity, the rest of the world gets access to these great benefits.
And that, of course, Todd, is something which, the games is all about, isn't it? It's about legacy. We often hear about this, the legacy of the games. And what a great way to do that. Now, of course, Darryl, from Intel's point of view, I just want to dig in a little bit more because people may not connect the dots here. Intel, you think processors, I think about the tune do. That's what I think of instantly. So, no one might connect that with the games. Yeah, you all do, right? So, how did that partnership come about?
Well, the way you should maybe consider Intel is we are the processor. We're Intel inside. We are the building blocks, but we're also the architecture. And so everything about a PC experience, a technology experience, is built fundamentally on the technologies that we develop. So it's very much in our best interest to understand how people are interacting with that technology and how this technology can be of use to individuals and to society as a whole. And so I think that's where that sort of explains the story as why Intel is interested in all of the human interaction and the human connection, and making not only improvements in how people work with technology, but then how technology can help people connect more effectively with each other. So I think that for me, that's the driving force. And I think Todd could probably speak a little bit more about how the Intel and specifically the Intel Olympics relationship happened.
Yeah, actually, it's really interesting that Darryl points out the importance of the human element here. I will point out that I'm a doctor of cultural anthropology. So, I've been in technology for a while, but of course, understanding people and their challenges has been core to what I've done for over 18 years at Intel. And it's about transforming an understanding of people into solutions for them. Now, with the Olympics, we had some sport tech that we were developing back in 2017, and we became Olympic sponsors back then. And we also had categories that we use in the Olympics. We have processors, of course. We have AI platforms, which is part of what this is. And we also have things related to AR, VR, and 360 content. And so each of these things we've been working on and bringing it closer. This is actually interesting work you're showing here related to broadcast. We have a number of things that will make broadcast better for people. So we're able to actually use AI and using both Getty, which is software to reach some of this hardware with Gaudi and Xeon, that actually can develop highlights very quickly. So you can have somebody actually say, I want to know, I'll circle this guy, and I want to know every time he shot a three-point shot. And then actually be able to do a whole hit list of all that person's 3-point shots. We can do this, and we can do it for different teams. So smaller rights holding broadcasters will be able to have their own highlights. So a smaller country in Africa, for instance, wouldn't be subject to only watching, highlights from the major European countries and things like that. Again, it democratizes the way media works. And then another exciting thing we're doing is volumetric video. So we're taking athletes and we're recording videos of them that are in multi-dimensions that fans at home can actually make it look like the athlete is standing there right in front of them, talking to them. Literally, you can hold your phone up and look like you're walking around them, and they're there. We're bringing it closer to the fans, both here in the games and at home, through our technologies. And that's, again, using a lot of this processing power in Xeons and AI power through things like a tool called a thing called Gaudi, which is a processor that actually helps accelerate understanding. So it's super exciting to see these things come to life.
We've come a very long way from the really annoying puck line on the hockey games many, many years ago. We're now seeing this technology really take shapes and forms that really do complement what we're experiencing from the fan perspective at home. It really is a beautiful blend of the layering of the different technologies that are there. How much of this is an opportunity to also showcase what you can do and what power we have now to the world?
Like I was discussing the work we were doing with Senegal. How exciting is that you can bring elite athlete and coaching to anywhere in the world? We literally can do that. I think it helps enjoy the experience. People around the globe get a better experience for the broadcast by being able to see localized content. And even with things like, seeing and learning about these labs, it's encouraging people to move. And that is something that really excites us. And it really excites the International Olympic Committee, as they have a campaign called Let's Move. And the whole goal is to make life better through sport.
Yeah, it all sounds incredible. And I wonder if there's a way for this to become, and maybe that this is the plan, to almost set this as a blueprint for other sports and outside of the Olympics, actually, extending that into sports like hockey or football or soccer or whatever it might be, to enable more people to get access to the game, to try the game, and like you say, to democratize the sport and the capability for people to take part in it.
Yeah, you should actually work with us. We're doing some of these things, so we work. I
don't think you want me, guys. I don't think you want me.
You're getting the right ideas, right? You're getting the right ideas. So we actually are working with a partner who specializes in enabling people to get professionally scouted. So using the same technology, they can take videos of world football, so soccer players, and then they can send it into the system, and the system can evaluate, and the system can then actually send it to elite clubs. So some of the elite clubs in the UK, like Chelsea, are actually using this technology both for training their own people, but for scouting new talent. So imagine you can get yourself in front of a talent scout.
Couple more minutes here, guys. Let me throw this out to Darryl first. What are you most looking forward to with these games? All this hard work has been done. It's been years in the making. Obviously, there's winter games coming up in a couple of years. But what do you personally look forward to, whether it's the games itself or some of the advancements that you guys have put together?
Well, certainly, I'm a lifelong Olympics fan. I love the idea where nations compete and that our top athletes are able to represent their countries, and just the pure emotion behind that is just, regardless of the sport, it is just so fun to watch. And I'm proud that Intel is a part of this and bringing these sort of new experiences and pushing the boundaries and the limits of technology to enhance everybody's experience, whether you're an athlete or a viewer, whether you're there or whether you're at home. And I guess I have a personal vested interest in trying to see how this indoor wayfinding technology can start to take hold and scale, so we can help just larger amounts of people who are blind or low vision around the world as well.
Todd, what about you?
Yeah, well, some of the same stuff. I love the world coming together. I mean, when you can walk out in the street and hear, I mean, I've met people from Argentina, from Australia, from South Africa, from France, all here. And this is just the very beginning, right? This is one sport. So it's super exciting to see people come together. But also, I get to see the delight on people's faces when they go through this lab. And it has become such a thing that if we get a line out front, people start cheering. And like, people get tagged with their first name and their country. And so you'll start to see people cheering for their countrymen, you know, and very few Americans went through yet. So it's very quiet. And then when they went through, people were like, oh, American, yes. You know, it's super cool. And I love to see that. And I love to see a roadmap that we put in place for all these experiences all the way back in 2017, have things progress and grow each time and become more scalable, wider reach, and out to the market, you know? So I get to see exciting ideas go from proof of concept all the way out to what everybody gets at home. And the Olympics has been a great spotlight for that, for us to show it off about how processing is really at the core of all of these experiences.
Darryl, Todd, it's been great talking to you today. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Todd, I want to thank you personally for the job offer at Intel, but I think I'm maybe better in the playing with the processors and the computers in the back room and leaving the other guys to the sport.
You know what, Stephen? I'll negotiate on your behalf, okay? I'll talk to him after.
Yeah, he's not a very good negotiator.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Coming up tomorrow is the 34th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. So where do we stand when it comes to digital accessibility? We'll speak to someone after a quick break here on Access Tech Live who has all that information and more.
There's more Access Tech Live to come. Get involved and have your say at Access Tech Live on social media. We'll be right back.